Ouch.
Alrighty. And hello, everyone, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hello to everyone tuning in live here on Twitch. And if you are watching this on YouTube or later, be sure to catch it, or on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, after the broadcast, make sure to tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live show. This is episode 3 of Star Wars Fortitude. So let's go around and introduce the cast in the crew. So let's go on over. Let's start with Dio.
God, I'm always introduced first. I always feel so important. Hi, I'm Dom, or some guy Dom. I'm playing Diovan Creed, a human pilot, scoundrel, empire boy who's been thrown in with a lot of rebels and outsiders.
And
sorry, I had the mic off. Hi, yeah, I'm Jesse. I play Darylus Pax, the Twi'lek mechanic slicer who has a trigger-happy heavy blaster on his side and runs around with them little insectoid and mercenary bounty hunter dude down there on the lower left. Hi, buddy.
Alrighty, Drake.
Hey, all right, I'm Drake. I am also the Senka, the chess doctor at hates Dio's flying. Can't stand it. Makes me invent Dramamine. You almost made me lose my lunch a few times.
All right,
as well as handling the yeah, Mr. T in this one, as well as handling the back end as well. So definitely tweet out our live tweet so I can give away dice. I like to give away stuff, and I want to give away Will stuff.
Yay, dogs!
And yes, Mr. Ripper.
Yes,
who are you playing?
I'm Gary Ripper. I'm at Ripper Blades at ripperblades.net. I play, I think his name is Meskar, the Trandashian. I can't pronounce it correctly.
Kardashian.
Trardashian. And yeah, and I'm here to. My character is pretty strong. He's not that brave. He's not that very bright, but he has a viral blade. He's like
So cool.
I like that I'm glowing from how close it is to me.
Alrighty, and Miss Panthera.
Hello, I'm Eris, or Animus Panthera. I'm going to be playing Daskaval, a charming human smuggler, who's mostly just in it time and maybe make some money.
There we go. And last but not least, Mr. Dan Streams.
That's me. I'm Dan, and I'm playing Bean, a Verpine gadgeteer bounty hunter with a penchant for large guns and mechanical skills.
Not an innuendo.
Yeah.
As far as you know.
Yeah. Before we begin today's shows, I'd like to go ahead and go over our sponsors real quick. First of all, being Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the dice rolls that you will be seeing today are in Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. We are using the Edge of the Empire conversion pack by Trenlo over on the forums. So go and give them a shout out because this thing is slick as all get out. If you play in person or just like collecting them, you can get miniatures for a good deal over at Wayland Games at waylandgames.co.uk, where you can find a whole line of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis for up to 20% off. And also check out Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. If we hit 20 retweets on the live tweet, we give away a set of dice. So go ahead and retweet that tweet, and you can win yourself a gorgeous set of dice.
We did make from home one last week, and he's very excited
exactly.
to get them.
So you can also support the show by retweeting this tweet and by retweeting the live tweets, and you can also interact with today's game by donating to give players triumphs, despairs, wild magic surges, and pets. If you want to give someone a lovely space pet, like a Minoc. Who wouldn't love to have a Minoc? Precisely. Let's see. Normally it would be natural 1s and natural 20s, but those don't exist in this game, so I'm giving people despairs and triumphs, which are narrative things that impact the players greatly. So it should be a grand old time. So getting into episode 3 of Star Wars Fortitude. After making a daring escape on the planet Raxus Prime after acquiring an old Republic LAAT, the spaceborne variant, and having a brief run-in with official Imperial law, the crew finds themselves on the planet of Galadran in the Outer Rim. Galadran is sparsely populated, very alpine in nature, and the crew finds themselves there during early autumn. They have just landed in the main port named Anchorfall. The planet is currently under control of the Zerka Corporation with the blessing of the Empire. And as you all are walking out of the spaceport, you had a brief brush with a stranger in a wide-brimmed hat with a heavy blaster pistol strapped to his leg, who gave you the kind words to be careful before disappearing into the crowds. But you are now standing over the city of Anchorfall, sprawling out in front of you. What would you all like to do?
Firstly, Derelus, sorry, did I see you piloting our ship remotely last a few days ago?
Not piloting, so to speak, but shooting. Yes.
So you can access the defenses from wherever?
No. But yes. Maybe. Sometimes.
All I'm saying is that shady bastard there who just vanished. I think we should heed some word of his, and if we can have some sort of, at least have you be on case with the alarm on your data pad or whatever it is. It might make us all feel a little bit safer about our ship not being stolen while we're away. Just as long as you've got the, we leave it in your capable hands, as it were.
So what I was thinking in line with that, actually, I agree with you. And but what I think we should do is set up the LAAT to automatically fire at anybody who comes through the cargo bay doors if it's not one of us.
If you can rig that, that'd be amazing.
That ends a lot of problems right there.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's all our problems in one go.
Do we have any droids on that ship we could possibly refit, maybe, to control and make sure that happens, or is it all just the computers on the ship? All right. Well, yeah.
No droids. I would say you'd have to go out and pick up some specific parts to do that. You're gonna have to find some.
Go for the Outer Rim.
Well, we are.
It depends on
mid-rim.
It depends on what type of droid you're looking to pick up.
Well, I was just curious if we had a droid. I wasn't necessarily thinking that we needed a droid to do it, but I thought that having a droid would make it easier.
Well, what kind of droid
if we already had one.
For?
The kind that can press a button that says fire?
No, I think droids you're looking for.
But yeah, if I can, do you mean that I would need to find some specific parts in the city in order to make our ship do that automated?
Yeah, you'd probably need to find some sort of like IFF tags to put on yourself so that it can identify who you are. Probably some, networking parts, at least one network switch. But probably some. You'd have to do some shopping to pick up all the parts for that.
Can someone still do it manually?
What was that?
Seemed like he did it before manually. Yes.
Yeah, he was able to patch in remotely to the ship's weapon.
What I did was that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I just hacked the ship from our computer on the LAAT because I knew the codes from the ship, presumably. So I figured I would.
Yeah.
I was just a wild guess chance, and I thought maybe we could hack that turrets and make them work. But we could probably still do it, but the data pad's going to have limited range because they're not. We were pretty close to the ship before when we did it. We were kind of flying over it, running around and shooting things. So I doubt that would be something we'd be able to do from the middle of the city and too easily jammed if we did. But setting up, if there's some way to set up like an intrusion alarm that would rig to our data pads, that'd be cool to do. And then also I'd like to securely lock the doors with some sort of nigh impregnable code.
If you can rig that
again, that's not something that's on the ship. That's something you'd have to go and
even
up.
for just alarm.
I mean, it has an alarm system installed on it. No ship that flies around in the outer rim doesn't already have one of those.
That's what I would have figured. Yeah.
Could we get that to be right to your data pad potentially?
That's wondering. Yeah, but we'd have to have parts for that we don't have. You saying?
To get a super lock that prevents dedicated attack.
I was just
that's.
I was just trying to say from my
doors,
whatever we're capable of doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can press the key fob and it goes whoop whoop, and the lights flash.
I think just make sure you hook up your data pad to make sure if we do get burgled while we're away, we can run back as fast as we can.
Yeah, I just didn't want somebody to steal the LAAT while we're out here doing things.
Yeah, we do need that.
But all right, yeah, that guy was suspicious as all hell. I didn't trust him, so that's why I was curious about that. But yeah, definitely lock it and then set up a signal for us to know. Would very prudent.
That shouldn't be too hard, surely. If we can get
as far as just having it, as long as just having it beam a signal to your data pad, that would just be that's something easy to set up. I wouldn't even have you make a check for that.
Cool, awesome.
Just a setting.
Yeah, it's just flip a switch, put in a few lines of code, and you're good to go.
Rock and roll. Then that's all I need to do. But Steven, I would make up a new name.
Yes, that I feel like I might be in a bit of trouble back home. So I think I'll start doing away with something else. That might be a better idea. I should also probably change out of these Imperial uniforms. Give me just 30 minutes and I run back to the ship and go change into just...
You haven't changed out of an Imperial uniform yet?
It takes him 30 minutes to change?
It's a long
He has to come up with a fake name, too.
Yeah.
He has to come up with a fake name, too,
Enter the montage where you just see Steven coming in and out of the dressing room, standing in front of the mirror. We're all sitting around with beers and alcohol going, nah. He comes back out, we're all like, yeah, and then one person's like, no.
His fashion sense is too Imperial. We're like...
Shaves his head, too.
That's my shaving case.
We're all like, that's not a uniform, man, but you still look like you're an Imperial. Try again.
Comes back out dressed like Leia.
Classic.
You have hope.
In a flying suit or what?
Yeah,
the dancer
reemerge in just black trousers and a messy ass white shirt, as scraggly as I can look, and just come out and I'll make up a name if someone asks. For now, just call me oh god, I look around me for have the ships got names or anything like that? Are there any words around that Dio can just if
That's a good idea.
There's not really a lot of branded stuff. If you look at your
while writing, While writing, I just go.
So there's a crates around, I'm sure.
Bic. I'll go by Bic. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, you can call me Bic. There we go.
All right.
Very well.
That's not going to get messed with at all.
Big
There we go. Simple. It's a very common name.
Filthy commoners. But yeah, so you guys find yourself in the not mean but not clean streets of Anchorfall. It's a decent sized city, nowhere near like Coruscant, which is a whole planet spanning city, but it's a nice and brisk day. There's people walking around doing trade. As you start getting kind of, there's market stalls where people are selling bits of salvage. And yeah, you don't see, there's a surprising lack of Imperial presence here. This, like I said before, this planet is almost entirely run by Zerka Corporation, or Zerka Arms, as they are known in this era. But there are an extremely old company. They're probably the 4th or 5th biggest company in the entire galaxy. But what they mostly do is that they sell arms. They're an arms manufacturer. And so this might be a good place to pick up some stuff. One of you thinks. The voice in the back of your head says. But you do see Zerka guards with kind of their orange and black livery patrolling around. Most of them carry nice looking blaster rifles, and you see some of them stopping and checking the licensure of these market stalls. People get arrested because some form is out of date. It's kind of the general vibe is that this is a very bureaucratic place.
I mean, we're here to pick up codes, but how the hell do we even find those? We have no contacts.
Yeah, we're looking for black market goods, basically, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the two things that you're here to find on this planet is are transponder codes and also just a flight recorder, like the black box. And the reason why you're here is because in Galadran during the Clone Wars, basically it was just all maneuver warfare all the time, and a lot of LAATs were shot down, and so there's lots of salvage to be had. There's if you were to travel outside of the city, you'd be stepping on bits of scrap metal everywhere.
Do we try and find someone to talk to about this, or do we just go and scrounge?
So do we look for like a?
Well, we should look around a bit.
I'll take all of your leads on this. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just going to stay at the back.
You will protect stuff, right?
Well, we should look around and find
think.
people. See what people have and who may be less dangerous than others.
Who buys from the scraps? From the collectors? I'm sure scraps.
Yeah, there's some people in you see a couple people with Zerka badges, but mostly in civilian clothing. Buying bits of more esoteric pieces of salvage.
So it's not like a main kind of like I don't know, like station pawn shops. Like we can check different types of places we can go, or we can find someone in this profession, or.
I mean, you could stop and talk to people. It's mostly humans. The rare, Twi'lek or Torgruda or you see a couple Tordarians, kind of flip flapping around as they do. Tordarians are Watto.
Jedi mind tricks don't work on me. Only money.
Yes, precisely.
Disgusting.
Yeah, there's a few of them flapping around, but it's you could stop and ask, or try and dive a little deeper.
You have to.
I feel like we should dive a bit deeper.
Yeah, we have to.
Well, luckily, we have someone who's quite good at talking to random outside scum, and I have a little look at Daska, the person I handcuffed a couple days ago.
What about? I would just like to. I've been kind of familiar with the underworld a little bit more in the last few years, and wouldn't mind taking a peek around and just kind of getting a feel for the city and kind of understanding the flow of it.
You could make a. You could either make me an easy skullduggery check, or an easy underworld lore check.
1 second, I forgot my book up there. That would be. Let's do underworld because. Oh, I could have done either one of them. Either one of them works. Okay, cool. Easy, right?
Yeah, so 1 per 4.
I'll get that out of the way now. And then that's going to be intellect. So 3 and 1. Cool. Oop.
Alrighty. Ooh, all right.
Look at all that advantage.
Yeah, so with a roll like that, Darylis, you would know as you're just kind of walking around and observing all the market stalls, you definitely see that there's like certain customers will come up and maybe flash a bit more creds, and this person will pull out like another box that was hidden under their stall, and they'll get to sift through some other stuff, and occasionally you'll see this happen. Once or twice you see someone does this, and then they'll see a Zerka patrol coming, and they'll just like hide it again real quick. But the one thing that you do know is that if you want to find black market goods, if you want to find things that aren't available just on the street, you're going to have to go to the shadiest, scummiest cantina you can find.
Of course.
That's what I thought you meant by deeper. Yeah, to go deeper to the underworld or to the.
So, by running around a little bit, what is the shadiest, darkest, deepest, craziest cantina that I can find?
It's the one Luskar's heading for.
It is.
They got shoes there, my size.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah. It's called the Emperor's Folly. Not something you would be able to find. Not a name that would get away with in the core worlds, but certainly a little bit more tolerated here, where Imperial presence is light. But it's a smiling face of the Emperor, and as you walk up to it, you see that the sign hanging outside, it's not like one of those slick hollow signs. This is hand painted wood, and there's several blaster holes in it.
Wow! All right,
that's uncalled for.
Are we supposed to shoot it?
No. Do
no.
not shoot at the visit of the Emperor. Jesus.
Why not?
The man suffered. He suffered enough already. Have you not seen what the bloody Jedi did to him?
Okay, Bick. You're doing real great blending in there.
I mean, no. Feel free to shoot the picture of our beloved Emperor.
He's been my emperor. He pays me.
I hate this. I hate all of this. This is the worst thing.
But as you walk inside, it is dark, dingy. There's not even a real band. There's just a hollow band kind of playing in a corner.
Sounds
and
cozy.
it is. Yeah, it's there's scum and villainy abound.
All the music's not real music.
What are you
No, really, it's not live band, man.
I used to see these guys when they were actually real.
But yeah, no, there's
Purists.
lots of so there, whereas outside this was mostly, outside was mostly humans with the occasional non-human mixed in. There's a lot more non-humans in there in here. There's Twi'leks. You swear you see a couple Jawas just hanging around, surprisingly off planet. Yeah.
I want to see a drunk Ewok. Is there a drunk Ewok?
I don't think Ewoks are known to the galaxy yet.
With chafed red lips.
I don't think they're. I don't even think they're known to the galaxy yet.
They're certainly not spacefaring.
No. They throw the rocks very hard, and that's how they get into space.
Very Thor type of Ewok, it seems like.
But yeah, there's
right.
lots of people around, and you notice as you're kind of walking around, you notice to your left, a couple of you, you notice that there's a private room, and the doors are shut, but there's like kind of thick frosted glass, and you can kind of see inside. You can definitely make out the forms of a couple Gamorreans standing next to someone seated in a large chair, but there seems to be people milling about.
This is where my muscle stuff gets a little more cautious. He's not that brave.
Who's got the money to buy the drinks?
I wonder,
We all have a little bit of cash. That's not a problem.
I have the most money.
I think we all have a little bit of cash. I don't think that's a problem.
Everyone has a little bit of scratch, and plus you were given a slush account by Chadka for any needed expenses.
For buying slushies, yes.
Like booze.
This would be a slush unit.
Yeah.
Like booze.
If we're buying booze for the right person, that definitely counts as an expense.
That's right.
Probably should give it to me because I need some bravery, more likely.
Well, considering what Dot's going through, I think she needs a drink.
We should probably just lie low and get drinks and not make any undue attention.
While he's saying that, Bean wanders over to the Jawas and he stands next to them and then says, Utini.
And get some glass of Utini.
One of them responds back in Jawa. Go ahead. Let's see. How good is Bean's Jawa?
Wait, do you actually speak Jawa?
I think Bean perused like a Jawa phrase book once.
Oh my Lord.
Go ahead and make me a hard
actual language.
A hard charm check.
Episode 4. I forgot what it is, but they're actually speaking to each other in another language.
I think
Trevor Noah said what it was.
Like,
I can't remember what it was. But
backward and sped up, yeah.
So hard, just lore.
Go for it.
Lore or charm?
Lore.
Oh, okay. My lore is a lot better than my charm.
Yeah. It's just your ability to recall anything that you've picked up.
Still not a success.
No, you get about every third letter or every third word, and it's just not enough to pick up. But you do see that on their table, they have a couple boxes of very interesting looking parts.
Bean points and kind of pulls out some of Bean's own tools and is like I do that too.
Okay.
One of them just slowly nods, barely under the hood. And like you see the two little glowing just to kind of narrow at you a little bit.
Oh no! Don't get in a fight with the Jawas.
Dio, I've made friends.
Why? I mean, hello. My name is Bick, remember, friend?
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry about my friend. He has short-term memory loss.
Bean, you feel a hand on your shoulder, just kind of rest on your shoulder, and as you turn around, it's one of the bar staff holding a tray of drinks, and he says to you, he says, Master Rube and Mistress Unihi would request that you be left alone. Or that they be left alone.
Oh, that they be left alone.
Oh,
The Jawas.
Yeah.
The Jawas have bodyguards? Wow.
It's just
These
a
are
bar
just
staff.
bar staff. They're translating for you.
Oh, the Jawas
Give
said,
Bean a very wide eye. Just
If Bean could blush, Bean would blush. Bean shuffles away.
So you all pick up some drinks, and yeah, and so you know it's not good. It's not. There's no good alcohol here.
It's beer.
Yeah, you know, no Telosian ale.
Sex on the beach at all.
It's like those Red Stripe commercials. It's beer.
Yeah.
Best we can say for it.
Do not tell Bean about sex on the beach as a drink. I don't want to see how that ends.
Keep away from him. It's not even made with real Trandoshan berries. It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
But as you guys spend a few minutes, you know, having your beverages, you do notice you hear a bit of a commotion coming from kind of in the back corner, not from the private room, but the back corner, and you see two burly-looking humans, one man and one woman. They stand up, and one of them says, "You can keep your credits. We're not going out there, not for anyone like you." And the thin, reedy-looking man seated at the table says, please, I beg you to reconsider. This would be a great business opportunity." And the woman just says, no, we're not doing that. You get out of here if you know what's good for you. And they both turn around and kind of storm off. And you see that the woman has another vibro sword strapped across her back. And the man has two blaster pistols, one strapped to either leg.
My ears are burning.
Well, I'm drunk by now, probably, so I'm ready.
And you see the thin, you know, reedy-looking man just kind of like, and run a finger through his kind of, you know, thin hair on top of his head.
I just start stirring my drink and go,
Have the arms? Are they getting armed?
instructions.
How long does that man stick around before he leaves? If we just sit there and watch him?
He doesn't. He just kind of sits back and pulls out a data pad and is just kind of fiddling with it.
Looking away.
Is there like a bit of a modernism here? But is there like a planet-side Wi-Fi I could possibly hack into and like maybe the hack into his data pad and just to watch what he's doing on his data pad?
Go ahead and make me. That would be a hard computer check, and I'm going to spend a destiny point. So I'll flip this to this, so you guys have more. So go ahead and upgrade that. So it's going to be your computer skill, 2 purples and 1 red.
Ooh.
Purples and 1 red.
2 purples and 1 red. That is correct.
I perceive the complications of being that I would get caught somehow. So can I use my destiny point to improve my chances of that, please?
You actually cannot.
Oh, you
sorry.
cannot, right.
I don't want to.
No, you're right. No, you're right, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can't use another destiny point.
Okay. Well, that sucks, but okay. So computer check, right?
Yep.
So 2 and 2. All right, let's roll them dice.
Oh,
Hey,
all right.
well done, flesh hat.
With a
Take it.
triumph. So, for those of you watching, that special symbol down there, that is a triumph. And in this game, that means it is a significant narrative advantage. So you connect to this network. No problem. You find that he has his space Bluetooth on, and you just kind of
Space Bluetooth.
Love it.
A rookie mistake, and as you are as you gain access to his files, you see that he is looking at a dispatch to hire mercenaries, and the dispatch comes from the Rebellion to Restore the Alliance.
So he's looking at this dispatch. Is it clear that it's his dispatch? Is he an agent of it, or is he looking at it as though it was sent to him?
As you are reading it, or as he's rereading it over, and at this point he's reading over a long list of names. But you download your own copy of the file and you look it over, and this is a dispatch from Rebel Command for him to hire some people here on this planet to recover as many parts as he possibly can.
Recover as many parts?
Yeah, just parts, equipment
from cracks. Okay,
scrap.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what we're doing.
Yes.
But like en masse.
All right.
He's looking to do it on a bit more of an industrial level.
Yeah. That's good information to know. Is it clear what his? Can I decide? Can I pick out his name from his datapad without him noticing?
I would say with that still riding off of this triumph, yeah, you would be able to.
Can I? What is his name?
Yeah, his name is Kestwin Ben C.
Cool. All right. Wow. So we have an Alliance agent in the house with us, folks. Nice to know. Given our last experience with Datapad with our last experience with comlinks being hacked, I would not say that through the comlink either. I think I would probably just whisper it over to the nearest person who's near me, which might be Bean at this point.
Great,
but could be any one of you. I'm not entirely sure where in the bar everybody is, so any one of us could be next to each other, and I'm just putting it out there.
I assume it gets around the table,
so hopefully it doesn't mess nothing up.
Yeah, it gets disseminated around the table for sure.
Yeah, and then kind of like. Not sure what to do with that information other than just pocket it.
Well, if this man is looking for parts, we're on the same mission. Perhaps he has more information about where the good things are than we do.
Yeah, I was just about to say, where's his warehouse? Where's he keeping it all?
That doesn't say in the dispatch, unfortunately.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I think we may turn on the charm
track
here.
Information.
Yeah, I think someone needs to sweet talk him and find out what he's got and maybe what he needs.
Yeah, that's probably like Daryl should walk over to Daska and whisper to her and explain what I've learned to you, and suggest that we maybe go over to him and initiate a deal along the lines of Fortitude, one of these mercenaries that's curious what he's hiring people for. Not alluding that he already know the details of his ultimate plan, but trying to find out where he's putting stuff so he can rob him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have guns, he's going to have explosives, he's going to have rockets. Wherever he's keeping everything, he's going to have some stuff, and we can steal that stuff. Why go out into the wilderness and look for this stuff? Let's just steal it from the guy who's been collecting it. And who's an illegal and doesn't want to be found out by everybody anyways.
And this would make Bick feel better. You know, he's anti, rebel guys. You know.
I'm all for it. Just, hopefully Daska has the charm to pull it off.
She always does.
What do you think, Daska?
I mean, I'm up for anything.
We knew that after he cuffed you the last episode.
For the sake of our lives. But yes, I would suggest buying him a drink and going on over and doing whatever you talkers do best. And we'll be here in case things go south. Just a couple tables away. Don't fret.
You can trust us.
We don't want him to know that we were hacking him, so probably Daska will just...
Oh, no, tell him that. Yeah. We definitely don't tell him that.
Just go and socialize, fly low, all that.
We'll just buy a drink and wander over and be like... slide the drink over in his direction and be like, so, I happen to have recently assembled a team of, shall we say, experienced adventurers. I don't know what it is that those people weren't willing to do, but maybe we'd be willing to do it for, the right amount of money.
You overheard all of that?
No, just the last part where they left in a huff.
Well, it's just so happens that I represent a certain interest from off-planet, and with how tightly Zerka controls the flow of spare parts off of this planet, I am looking for a group of people to operate not exactly outside of the law, but parallel to it. Does that make sense?
Yes, that is our specialty, if you will.
I see. Paralegals, if you will.
Yes.
Now, this...
Genuinely awful.
Card.
Fucking parallel.
But the difficulty is that you cannot leave the city without a license. Because they can't just have any old person going out of the city collecting any of this precious salvage that Zerka has put a premium on. And to be found outside of the city without a license is an egregious offense. So you can see why my hands might be tied here. As an outside interest, I can't exactly just purchase a license, nor can I particularly, in good conscience, take one from someone. But if you and your companions either want to do that yourself, I will turn a blind eye, or if you feel willing to escape from the city without a license and go assist me in my business venture, you would be handsomely rewarded, of course.
She pats him on the hand and says, "Let me have a word with my business associates." And goes back to the group.
Very well, I will be awake. And he just kind of keeps scrolling through the data pad. Daryl, are you still?
I'm watching whatever he's doing. If I didn't go over with Daska, I'm gonna sit there and watch what he's doing on the data pad for sure.
Okay. He at this point is just kind of browsing, sector news.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see him. He stops for a moment in kind of the news section, and as you're kind of remoted in and watching what he's doing, you see a news bulletin pop up, and it said, wanted criminal. The bounty board updates, and you see the mugshot-esque registration picture of a younger Diovan Kree, wanted for crimes against the Empire.
Son of a bitch.
Wanted for terrorism. Literally, that's the charge. Wanted dead or alive, terror.
Dead or alive.
Reward. Dead or alive. The dead reward is 20,000 credits, and the alive reward is 80,000.
Ooh.
Dang.
And how much was the HUD paying us?
Yeah.
More than that.
The HUD is
million
paying
credits.
you. Yeah. It's quite a lot.
What's my percent again?
No, each of you is getting paid 12 million
willpower is
credits.
3. My intelligence is 2.
You're good enough. You won't.
How much do I owe for that again? Yeah.
So do we all see this?
It would just be on my data pad, I think. So I have not. I will not reveal this inside this bar.
No, I'm just enjoying my sector beach at the moment. I have no interest.
Yeah, but
how
see...
is Steven? Are you covered at all? Is your face disguised at all, or is you just look like you?
Currently,
He sort of
none.
scuffed it up.
I've got a messy white shirt on, but that's about it.
The picture you see is definitely Dio a few years younger. A bit more fresh-faced and baby-faced.
Yeah, since those years, Dio has grown a bit of a scruff out and has a very large blaster bolt scar across the side of his head, but that's about the only change that's gone on.
That's good. Okay, cool. Good to know.
So I still look very much like I would have done, just with a little bit more wear and tear.
Yeah, but you see the guy briefly, he eyes up from his data pad over towards your guys' table, and then just kind of eyes back down.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And then what does he do on the data pad?
He just goes back to reading news, trade prices. You see one, our boys in white, strike another rebel cell down. Just regular propaganda stuff.
Well, I mean, if he's, I'm not worried about Kestwin noticing him, because Kestwin is a rebellion agent, so he's wanted by the Empire if they ever found out who he is. And basically everybody in the rebellion is also wanted for terrorism or conspiracy. So I think that would just win us points if Diovan was to be noticed by this guy. But at the same time, I don't really want him being noticed by anybody yet.
Shit.
So I'm going to keep this to myself for now, and just kind of wear it on my, wear it close to my heart. And then when I get a chance, I may advise Diovan to disguise himself a little bit more thoroughly.
I'm a rebellion bargaining chip. Ah, fuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah. This credential for it to be, who knows what we might have to do with the rebellion.
Great.
Anyways.
You're our rebellion poster.
What you got, Asha?
I'm the rebellion poster boy of the group. Fuck.
Daska, what you got?
Anyways, Dasa comes back and sort of gives a quick relay of the information. Is like, we might be able to get what we want. He gets what he wants. Maybe we get some money too.
do these licenses
or we can just rob him after we find out where his stuff is. What does that mean?
Or that.
What?
What was that mean?
So we need licenses to get out into the field. Do they have like ID associated with them, or are they just like?
I've never seen one. Can I look that up online without losing my connection to Kestwin's datapad?
Yeah, there's
open another tab.
There's definitely vetting involved in acquiring these licenses, but one person can take up to 9 people. Can take up to 9 unlicensed people into the field with them, as long as all 9 people come back, or if all people don't come back, at least proof of that person's demise.
Right. All we need to do is find one down on his luck archaeologist to take us out there on a run. That's good to know.
Each
I
one
mean, that's
does
one
have,
of the options.
Licenses associated with it, or identification associated with it.
But not ours. It would just be so if we wanted to go off the radar, we would just have to find one down on his luck dude who happens to have a license and take them on board with us and go out there.
Mm-hmm. That's a possibility.
I'll relay it to that to you guys.
Other options, we steal one.
But then we are stealing one, and then we have less chance of being caught. Oh, that is a definite option.
Or being shot at.
Is he here for trading like that? Or?
Also, I'm not entirely sure we should go out very far. Maybe we should just find something to say we did.
We could possibly hire a speeder or something. At least we can maneuver quicker that way.
Yeah.
Or if we have a license, take the LAAT out there.
I wouldn't want to expose the
might
LAAT.
Look suspicious.
They would all see that, and then people would come for us to take that from us.
Fair point. Bollocks.
But I think renting a speeder or stealing one, buying one, well, however we wish to do it, would be a good way to do it.
I reckon we could probably fit in 2 land speeders. I'm not sure we'd all fit in one, then we just need a pass to get out there.
Well, not all land speeders are the same.
I wouldn't know. I've only ever read about them. We don't really use them on Coruscant very much. As long as you know what we're doing.
I'm too big for a speeder. I'm more suddenly needed.
Don't they have whole highways there? Flying highways.
I don't go down there. Most of it's small ships anyway, not land speeders. I don't really go into the lower levels. That different thing. Grim.
What kind of speeder? Like the snow speeders? I like the regular.
Air speeders, yeah. Most of them are only 4-seaters.
Oh.
There are certain sizes.
If we can find something that can carry us all out there, that'd be really useful.
I'm sure we can find something here. I'm sure we can find something here. Maybe a ground vehicle of some places.
Kind.
But we should focus on finding a person who has a license or getting ourselves one first.
Bean looks over at the 2 Jawas.
No, not them.
Sandcrawler.
I have another question. Assuming that Daska's been doing this for a while, does she have any alternative identities that she's forged some documents for, like somebody that's not her but is her, that she could get a license of her own but with a fake ID, basically?
Go ahead. I would let you spend a destiny point, so we could go ahead and flip one of the tokens I have here on my desk. I would let you do that, and then make a skullduggery check. A medium skull check. Yes. Okay. And while Daska is doing that, I just want everyone to know that we hit 20 retweets on the tabletop loot set of dice. So go ahead and put !loot in the chat. And go ahead and try to win yourself a set of dice. Loot.
Bang it in there. Win some dice.
Yeah, win yourself a nice set of dice.
What's the sponsor we get them from again?
This is Tabletop Loot. They make actually really awesome dice. I have several sets from them because I am a dice fiend.
I have not yet looked them up. Goblin, like,
so
I
really
have more of
quick.
the clicky clack stones.
The jewelry.
Normally for Skullduggery, I would do 3 dice total, and one of them would be a proficiency. Does that change because I'm using the fate point?
No, this is just letting you do this. It's kind of like a gestalt thing, just kind of, this is the thing, you know. And then, you know, Daska's ability to be able to procure these said things. So, did I give you the difficulty on that? I think I said it was medium. Yeah, so 2. So go ahead and...
Oh. I forgot to
just go ahead and roll. Yeah, just go ahead and roll those 2 purples and we'll compare them. All right, yeah. I would say, you probably have 2 or 3 different identities. I'll let you come up with the names, but you casually have them in like a Foot Locker in your cabin. Yeah. And appropriate credentials for both, but nothing like I am renowned Imperial, Dr.
Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, you're it's the highest ranking one that you have is the former first mate on some like ore carrier that got shot down by pirates like 3 years ago. Otherwise, they're all pretty baseline, but
I'm gonna go with. I already used that first one. I'm gonna go with Karana Swift.
All right.
Woohoo.
Gotta remember that. Fake ID. We're pretty much burning this one because it's like, I don't know, I don't want to be associated with this anymore.
It's me, Egg McMuffin.
Hopefully it's worth it.
All right. Yeah, so
that's
I would say you probably
solved.
Yeah, you could go ahead and go through registration for a.
I'm gonna at least propose this to the group. Be like, well, you see, I could just pretend to be someone else, get an ID, get my own license, and then we can cut out another additional person that we have to involve in this. I already have the ID. You need the license.
But then we have to look for where we're going to go and find a place on our own. But it works.
It's just an option.
Are we allowed to fly our ship out to scavenge? Once we license?
Yeah, I would say that's something you'd be able to do, is take your ship out. You would need to register your ship as well. That's another thing.
No, bad idea.
Let's not do that.
There are no speeders on the ship and like that.
And no speeders.
Just the LAAT.
Mm-hmm.
I like having the LAAT as a backup, but only be the worst types of situations. I'd prefer to avoid those situations. I'd prefer to avoid those situations entirely by not actually going out
if we lose that ship,
into that dark wasteland of former death and destruction.
Bean is actually kind of like, I feel like we should go out there. You never know what we might stumble across.
I'd be okay with that if we went on a little excursion.
I think we have to go there, don't we?
Oh, yes. But I don't particularly fancy registering the ship that the Empire already knows about.
We can buy. We have money from the hut. We can just buy some ground transportation.
Yes,
I like that idea.
Let us agree to the deal first, and then decide how to do that deal. But let's find out where he wants us to bring the things we find back.
Yes. So Daska will go back over to what's his face.
Kessler.
Maybe bring him another drink. What was it? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write it down the first time. What was it?
His name was Keswin. Keswin Bensi.
Did he tell me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have introduced himself.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. So I go back over to Mr. Keswin, maybe bring another drink, shove it gently in his direction, and be like, we've had a little discussion. We think we could probably make this work for you. So that being said, perhaps we could work out some more details.
Well, I suppose the appropriate response would be, what sort of access are you going to have to the exterior of the city?
Well, you see, I think that I might be able to get a license myself, and then use it for your benefit as well as ours, of course.
Very well. So, here's the deal I'm going to offer. For every... he go ahead and outlines the deal. In terms of for every 5 points of encumbrance that you load a vehicle up with, I forget how much it is, but it's like every X amount of volume of salvage that you bring of like serviceable parts, parts that either work just straight away or parts that only need a little bit of work to get working again. For every 5 units, he'll pay you 1,000 credits. But and then obviously more for like more bigger pieces of equipment. So if you find something, if you find a DC-11A blaster rifle, it's going to be worth a good amount of money to him, but it has to work.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't just want pure, scrap.
Junk.
He wants things that work and can be made to work with minimal effort.
So would it be weird at this point if I asked him like where he wants us to deliver that?
He just says, come find me, I will be here when you have finished your run.
Okay. I go back to everybody else.
I'm not comfortable leaving the ship here by ourselves and then going out into the wilderness with our ship here for whoever to go over it and take from it whatever they want, and us being too far away to get back in time to fix it and rescue it if someone tries to break in. Perhaps we should take it with us if we are going to go out there.
Could... I mean, the ship is registered to Shadow the Hut. Right?
You actually don't know who the ship is registered to. You do know that coming aboard, it definitely looked like someone was living here before Shadga gave it to you. And you get the very distinct impression that Shadga stole it too.
Can we look that up? Is it possible to forge a registration, etc., etc.?
Well,
at the very least, can we find out who
it
the ship is registered to?
I probably can look it up, but we would probably transponders. You can't tweak on. You have to find them normally.
The Imperial Registry of Ships is not really something that has public access.
Can't Google that.
No, that's not something that you can just Google.
Space Google.
You could be able to find someone with privileged access. Yeah, Space Google.
Space Google.
You gotta say the Imperial's better. Google. The Imperial's better than the local DMV.
So, which would we do?
Is it possible that we could? I mean, he didn't give us a time frame, right? Is it possible we could go drop off the LAAT somewhere safe with Shot of the Hut and be like, hey, you keep an eye on this, we'll be back, skis, and come back to the planet, do this to get the rest of the stuff. Just like if the problem is we're worried about somebody breaking onto our ship and stealing the LAAT, let's just put it somewhere safe. Can we do that?
I think the ship is probably the safest place, but I'm also worried about somebody straight up stealing the ship. If it's the person who we ran into in the street, the person who stayed who ran into the street said that it was a very interesting ship and people know it, and it has a history. I think we should just fly the ship out. Perhaps buy a speeder. We can make small runs around wherever we park it, but not too far from it.
How far?
But the issue is that if we want to bring, if we want to bring the ship out, the people who we get the license from would want to know about the ship, right?
Well, we would find out who it's licensed to.
Yeah, but what if they want to confiscate it because it's stolen?
Yeah, I'd say let's not register in our LAAT in any way.
Fair point.
Stolen.
That is a fair point.
Because we're talking about
the biggest thing we can do is leave the ship where it is and just hire out a new speeder or something.
Why don't we just split the team up, period, and have the best qualified person define what we need, and then someone that can back them up for any kind of like riffraff.
Sure, we could hire out.
I think if we're going to go out into the wilderness, we should all go.
Yes, we could hire like a mobcat or a mobcat or two, or perhaps a couple of land speeders, and get ourselves out there and leave the ship as it is. I mean, he was the only one who saw us land down, and as long as we're quick out there, surely we won't have time to gather a whole army to try and board our ship.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
If we're going to do this, then if we're going to leave the ship, then I need to make a few preparations for it. What I spoke of before. We need to find those parts so that I can make those modifications. I do not want to leave it here unguarded.
No, wise move. Wise move.
You want those Java to steal anything?
They are untrustworthy.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Nobody's given us any time frames, so let's take the time to let our tech experts fortify the ship, hire some land speeders. We can go out, maybe get a couple things to make it seem like we're actually doing the thing that this guy asked us to, but actually what we're looking for is the ship we want.
I'd say split into two for a moment. Let some people work on the ship fast and other people get a speeder.
Bean raises a hand. What if he is looking for good loot from out there before he'll let us know where his hideout is? What if we offer him the LAAT?
But then he knows
we
have the...
Yeah. But also he would know we haven't left, so...
But if we're planning to double cross him later anyway, we can, like, leave and, like, pretend...
But we have no guarantee he'll tell us where... It's actually and he's going to truck it off somewhere else.
Oh, Daska, your vocal cords just spazzed out, and I couldn't
I think your voice box might be malfunctioning. Perhaps give it a tweak.
Are you not a droid in disguise?
Definitely not.
Bloody knew it.
Speak clearly.
Well, there's no guarantee he's actually going to tell us where he's keeping this stuff. He might say, meet me here, and there's just a truck, and we're supposed to load the stuff onto the truck, and now we don't know where he's keeping all this stuff, and he knows we have an LAAT that we didn't deliver.
I'd suggest if our techies can buy some parts to get our defenses set up, and the rest of us go and see if we can procure a speeder or two on the cheap, and then we set out tomorrow in the morning or something when it's early, so no one's really out scavenging, or even during the early morning hours, sometime just after the sun goes down. Perhaps we could get out there while no one's around, scavenge parts we need during the night, and come back and with what we need and get the hell out of here.
With like garage sales, that's when everybody's out there early in the morning. I mean, that's for scavenging, everybody thinks the same thing. Kind of like the traffic detour.
Yeah, you have a point.
Maybe we should go at an unorthodox time, like when everybody's busy, like a prime time when everybody's busy doing something else.
I'd say maybe in the late afternoon when people are busy drinking and selling their things off. Perhaps we could do it then.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So that gives us a few hours to get our things in order, and then we can head out there when everyone's drinking. Hopefully, we should have
there's a time frame too.
It's not just like people make one-day runs out. It's like people go out for like a week on like an expedition and gather a bunch of stuff and then come back in. Yeah, it's not just.
I'm imagining this is like Knights of the Old Republic when that same storyline there.
If we're not worried about other people getting what we're going for, we can just still try to find the best time for us to go when no one else is going. I'm thinking there has to be a time when people were like a quiet time.
Yeah. When I was flying the ship in, how far was all the crashed ships and shit from the city? How far out do you reckon we have to go?
Probably a couple days worth of travel.
Okay,
the area around the city is heavily forested, as is most of the planet's surface, along with its oceans and
as well.
You probably wouldn't have a good chance of finding anything good within a day's travel of the city. It's definitely been picked clean over the years.
Yeah.
And
the other kind of cover up for the ship.
Possibility.
Very big part.
Go on there and work a few wrenches and throw it on top of the ship.
You remember finding a tracker on the
on the ship.
Yeah, on the Triumphator.
Yeah, you guys weren't here for that. We found a tracking device on the ship that Shadgut had put there, we think.
We can't remove it or anything like that.
I wouldn't recommend getting rid of it until we know for sure he doesn't have more, because removing it would make him think that maybe possibly we are no longer loyal.
Worrisome thought. What if it's not actually Shagda's?
Steals it, Shagda will know where it is, and then.
Oh, I agree with you, Dean. I agree with you.
What about stealing a full ship? Well, we don't have to worry about small speeder, and let another smaller ship take all the blame or whatever.
Well, the whole problem is that the Triumphator is maybe stolen, and if we try to register it so that we can take it out with our license, they'll know. So we don't want to steal a ship, because that's just the same problem.
Right. But
unless we go back to Plan A, which was find somebody else with a license and they have a ship.
I say.
Well, either way, we have to go several days away from the city. No matter what, we have to go several days away from the city. So we have the choice of either A, taking the Triumphator and getting it registered, or B, not getting it registered and taking the Triumphator, or C, getting some kind of vehicle local and just driving it and leaving the Triumphator here. Each of which have their own risks and advantages. If we fly the Triumphator out there without a license, we'd run the risk of getting caught and fined or arrested or etc. If we run out there, if we get a license for the Triumphator, we run the risk of getting caught with a stolen ship, maybe. And then if we go out there on a land vehicle, we run the risk of not having our heavy guns and our all that, and the ship would be left behind. So we kind of just need to choose which risk we're willing to take.
Yeah, because they all have a risk. We have to choose which risk.
Honestly, I think our best bet is to take something else out there and leave the Triumphator here, because even if, God forbid, it is stolen, Shadgo will know its position and probably send his, whatever they are, people out to go and take it back, because he'll know we're on planet. We wouldn't abandon the mission, and he can contact us on our comms.
But why would he think that we've left the mission? He has no reason to think that.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't.
If the ship flies off, he'll know someone's taken it and go after them.
Yeah.
So we should be fine to leave it here as long as it has some sort of lock on it, which
he'll know that we've been bamboozled.
I think if I just rig the ship, if I would just rig it so that it can remote control the turrets and automated defense systems without us being here, I think it'll be fine leaving it. I think you just need to make that step, and then we need to isolate other transportation.
So they can't leave. So like an OnStar thing, like they can't leave with it. Like you can rig it. So
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Or whatever, or they can't leave. That way,
just take the hyperdrive or something.
I agree with that. Unless we were to set it up with some kind of automatic recall where we could signal it and it could fly to us.
Yeah,
sounds like a tall order.
A whole bunch of different kits. We could get automatic security defenses. We can get extra locks. We could get a bioscan so that only certain people can even pilot the damn thing.
That's
See what we can put on it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing you all have to remember is that all things can be bypassed.
By someone of expert skill at hacking things, not by some cheap-ass smuggler in a fancy hat.
But we're also on a planet full of people who steal things for a living, so...
Yeah.
Well,
I see not many options.
We could stand here all day thinking of all the different ways this could go wrong. I think we should make a brave and heroic decision, and maybe something interesting and possibly entertaining will happen if things go wrong.
Let's do option C. Let's fucking go for it.
I agree. Let's do this.
Right, let's go find some fucking security measures,
So
shall we?
It would seem none of us here has faith.
Okay, so what's
we have to take a leap and jump somewhere.
so the shopping list is ground transport, extra security measures for the Triumphator, and just like a license. That's important, and just basic expedition supplies.
Well, we haven't even gotten the license yet. Yeah, we need to get. I thought we did
Well,
that already.
Daska can go work on that because
Yeah, that's easier than that.
we only need one license, and they don't like care who I bring as long as I bring all of them back, right? So I can just go get a license by myself.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
As Karana Swift, as opposed to being me.
Yes.
bring back a Sprite though.
So, by our shopping list here, if I just cross off license for Daska, if you handle that, then we have speeders, security, and supplies. So who's going shopping for food and tarps and all that tat?
I'll take that.
I could definitely go for speeders.
We have plenty on the ship. Don't we have plenty of food on the ship already?
Did we, GM?
That's true. Yeah, no, the ship is fully stocked for a couple months out at space.
In that case, we can just pick those up on the ship, so that's fine.
At one point.
I would strongly suggest Daryl going to get us our security parts of the ship, since you actually know what the hell is going on with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Possibly Bean as well, since he is the one with technical know-how.
It's the Han and Chewie team over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rest of us could go in search of a speeder or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably more than one. I don't know how much bigger I am than the rest of the crew, but I don't know if I need a separate thing or what.
7 feet. You're gonna have to have the moonroof.
Okay, team.
Yeah, I need a moonroof for a
right, so
Reclining chair.
yes, so we will start off with Daska going to the registration office in Anchorfall. You ask around, you're probably enough to, squeeze that bit of information out of someone. The registration office is actually at the Zerka headquarters. Here on Galadran, the Zerka headquarters is a massive castle built on a cliff that overlooks the city. It's very dramatic.
very cool.
But as you walk in, there's people there, getting registered. You take a number, wait for about an hour. Classic DMV experience. And eventually you get pulled to the front of the line. And this heavy set man with thick glasses on says, "What can I do for you today?"
I'm here to apply for a license so that I can go scavenging.
One salvage license. What is your name?
Karana Swift.
Do you have any identification, Miss Swift?
Hands over the appropriate cards and whatever.
He takes several minutes, scanning all the cards, and says, "What brings you out here to Galadran?"
Salvaging. I heard this was the best place for it.
Very well. And he ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Do you have any ship that you wish to register?
Not at the moment, no. We're working on that.
Very well. The registration fee is 1,500 credits.
I assume I have that money. I use my slush fund or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And you paid off. So you now have a salvage license for for a Zerka Corporation salvage license on the planet of Galadran. Who's going to acquire speeders or land transportation?
Does it have to be bought or can it be taken?
Buy. Please don't.
Buy. Buy. We're buying.
Hi.
Okay.
I think that'd be Seika, Miskar, and I.
Yeah. So there's no land speeders that use repulsion technology really available. Most of those have either been bought up already or are in use by Zerka Security. But you do find several tracked in wheel. So basically, just half tracks. You find several hybrid vehicles that seem like they can handle terrain pretty well.
Like a personnel carrier sort of deal.
Yeah, just a personnel carrier.
Okay.
No iguana birds.
No. Unfortunately not. Nothing slick. Most of the stuff, you're basically on the classic seedy used car lot, run by a Twi'lek. And he's rubbing the sides of the speeders and says, "Oh, this one will take you anywhere you need it to go, and it's no problem at all." And he smacks the side of it, and you can think you hear something, loosen itself inside. But you can find one that's serviceable enough, but it will be pretty expensive. But not as expensive as.
What was that?
How good are you with negotiating and dealing for prices?
Shot of the Hutt's paying for it, isn't he?
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. I'm having no problem spending Shada's money.
In that case, far away, and let's try and look tough to Midgar as his bodyguards or whatever. I know it's not hard for you.
My face doesn't really move much anyway.
You've got to look. We'll take it. You take it lead, Vic.
Right.
Never mind. Vic. We got this. I'll find that car lot guy and yeah.
Yeah. So you find a basically a half track that has room for up to 15 people in it, as well as an attached cargo hold. which can hold a significant amount of salvage.
Any weapons on it?
No weapons. It is unarmed and unarmored. It's just like
unarmored.
Yeah, basically, it's more or less like it's the Star Wars equivalent of like a big flatbed truck, but it has a nice suspension system on it to be able to go over lots of rough terrain, more or less.
Like an old car, an old truck.
I'm going to whisper in Bick's ear, how's easy is this going to be for you to drive?
I can probably drive pretty much anything as long as you give me 5 minutes to check over the steering wheel. I should be able to drive anything with somewhat ease.
Have Bick start checking it over and have the Twi'lek start showing me some other stuff too. I don't want to seem too eager on this one.
I see. Yeah, this one goes for 5,000 credits. But yeah, so Darylis, or not Darylis, sorry, excuse me, Dievan, or Bick, Mr. Bick, go ahead and make me a mechanics check, an easy mechanics check as you look over this thing.
Righto. How's my mechanics? Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. One,
so
two,
one
three,
purple.
and one purple. Bow.
All right.
Oh!
You've
really
fairly
this campaign.
You've never driven one of these, but you're fairly certain that you've seen Imperial Army troopers use these to like transport troops to the front line. So you know they're sturdy when it comes to not taking direct heavy fire. But they're reliable. Sturdy is the wrong word. They're reliable.
Okay, but it's...
Thinking of it that way, I'm going to turn to Mishkar and go, shake it. Grab it by the body.
Grab it and shake the bloody thing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I grab it and I shake it.
All right, go ahead and make me... Make me
shake.
and...
Shake your half track. Shake your half
make me
track.
a hard athletics check, Mirskar. So athletics, so for you that would be 1 yellow, 3 green, and 3 purples.
You right?
1 yellow, double click it. 3 greens.
And 1 purple.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 purples.
3 purples. 2 more.
And then go ahead and give that a roll. All right. Yeah, you give it a good shake. Nothing seems to come loose on it. It seems to all the parts seem to be there. The salesman, gives you like a demonstration, and it all turns on. It sounds okay. It's just rust colored. That's really about it.
I can go with that. So how much for cash out the door?
For cash out the door, I would give you 4,500 Imperial credits.
Yeah, 4,500. Really? How about 4? And he leaves happy.
Go ahead and make me a negotiate check. A medium negotiate check and take a boost.
All right, so what do I need for
There's
that?
a big scary Mirskar right next to him.
Yeah, so whatever your negotiate skill is, 2 purples and a blue.
All right, negotiate skills at 1, so that's...
Probably a yellow and a green. With whatever negotiate is.
Yep. Yellow, green, and then you said 2 purples?
2 purples and a blue.
A blue.
All right. He says, and looks at it, And he looks back at you, and he goes, "This will hurt me, but for a noble customer such as yourself, I accept. It is yours," and he hands you the keys.
And we'll transfer the credits over to him.
Alrighty, so 4,000 credits.
Vehicles checked off the list.
Alrighty.
Do I have to go back to the Space DMV and register this vehicle?
No, you don't need to take it back to the space. You only need to register actual ships.
Okay.
It's like a scooter.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be 18 to drive it.
What's this big beastie look like? Give us a general description.
It is about... I would say it's probably about 12 feet, 13 feet long. No, 16. It's like 16 feet long. There's a cabin with like a narrow or an angular windshield that can fit most people. It's easy enough to stand in the back and still be able to look over the walls that hold the cargo in place. And then it has a nice, big, wide cargo compartment.
I was picturing more of one of those, those Corellian digger crawlers that have all the Jawas in on Tatooine.
No, it is definitely not one of those. This is basically like a Ural, like those big Russian trucks, but space. Yeah, with like an extended cab.
I see.
Yes, this isn't fancy.
But like the square box transports they had on Rebels.
It'll get the job done.
Okay. I can steer this just about. It should be fine. It'll get us around. I'll just do my pre-driving preparations and everything, and by that I mean dust off all the dust and hang up my tiny little fuzzy dice, and there we go.
Yes, I'm putting the stats for it. It's in there. All right.
Thank you.
Space Ural.
What a name.
Alrighty. So now y'all have stats for that, so y'all can trick it out as you'd like, or try to trick it out as you'd like, or go ahead and do that. Over to Bean and Darylis. You two are going to pick up some parts for the ship.
Yes,
alrighty.
indeed.
So walking around the marketplace where you be able to find most of the stuff is there's various people hawking security parts, but you do find one that specializes in security, and a small human woman, very old, with long white hair and two braids that kind of go around on either side of her neck. She's the one manning it, and as you approach, she goes. She looks at you, Bean, and she goes, "Oh, I haven't seen someone like you before. Where are you from?"
Oh, our name's Bean. We're from the Roshi asteroid field, where the Verpine have made their home.
Oh, I've never met a Verpine. If they're all as handsome as you, I'm sure they're great people.
We are unable to blush, but if we could, we would be.
Anyway, what can I do for you?
Got a fan.
My friend and I are looking for advanced components in networking and remote access and ways to more securely defend a location when you are not home.
We want our ship to shoot people when they approach.
My friend is more succinct than I am.
Well, And she looks either way. Either of you from Zerka Security?
No. You look like Zerka Security.
Well,
no.
I might have something And she pulls out all sorts of networking equipment from a stand, or part of her stand that isn't as prominently displayed. And you see her bend down underneath the stall. You hear something open up. You hear her unlock something, and she pulls out. It basically is like a pretty advanced looking network card, and she goes, "This, I managed to pull this from some Republic wreckage. This is a remote access chip. With this, you can access any sort of system, and it will relay to a specific address that you have. Would you like it?"
Sounds very much like what we are looking for. Are there any complications that we should be aware of?
Well, I know that it works, but I haven't been able to wipe the old security off of it. So you may have some complications with that. Otherwise, don't get caught with it.
What did you find it on? What sort of vessel?
It's a crashed Arquintans, if you know what that is.
Arquintans?
Yeah, an Arquintan. It's a... go ahead and make me a... you can make me a warfare. I know that's not in this one. Go ahead and make me just a lore check. An easy lore check.
Lore, okay. Oop, that was not what I meant to do. Okay, there we go. Easy lore, huh? All right, boom.
Alrighty. They are light cruisers used during the Clone Wars. They are also, some of them are still in use today. The Empire still uses them as more kind of in the Outer Rim outposts, but they are light cruisers. So, you're going to have a hard time taking one of those on in the Triumphator. But having the remote access chip to something as powerful as the Arquintan would be pretty useful.
Wait, what was that thing you said right before that? It's something about a hard time, whatever?
Oh, you're gonna have a hard... If you bumped into one of these things in the Triumphator, you're gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be a bad time if it puts your...
Yeah, got it. Awesome. How much?
For this piece... How does 14,000 credits sound?
That is quite a lot, but it do quite a lot. What are other options you may have, so I may gauge your honesty?
Well, she kind of puts it back down. I have this. She shows you all sorts of stuff like a keypad scanner, like a biometric scanner for 2,000 credits for access to the to the bay doors and just passenger foot access to the Triumphator. A voice locker for the navigational systems and the control systems would run you 1,100 credits.
Okay.
She does have an auto targeting system, which in actual, game terms, is if you hook that up, it would allow the computer to fire any weapon system automatically, provided it has IFF tags.
What was the one for 1,100 again?
1,100 credits was voice lock for the nav systems and pilot systems.
Thank you. And then how much is that auto target?
That auto target is pretty expensive. Yeah, it is. Hold on. Yeah, it would run you probably. Yeah, she has it for sale for 23,000 credits. Is the droid brain? Ooh. Keep in mind, your slush fund only has 10,000 credits, and this was before you guys got to this planet.
Yeah, we're tracking on that.
Cap?
Yeah, I didn't realize we had a cap on that.
That's how much of a slush fund. Jeez. Should be empty soon.
Thank you for your one moment. I would like to confer with my friend here and come back in a moment. What is your name, by the way?
I'm Bean.
My name is Vuma.
Vuma.
Vuma?
Vuma. What that's a very strange name. Where are you from?
I am from here. I grew up on this planet.
Oh, well, I will be back in a moment, Vuma. It is very nice to meet someone with such good wares.
Oh, thank you. I try my best.
And I kind of nudge Bean and I walk away for a moment. So, my friend, whispering to make sure nobody can really hear us around the marketplace, what do you think of these deals? It is quite a lot.
They all sound very
we have
cool.
That much money available to us. Particularly if our friends have spent money.
I mean, you guys would be able to check, how much is left in the account.
True.
How much is left in the account?
Well, after buying the speeder for 4 and getting the license for 15, there's 45 left, if I can do math. 4,500. If I can do math correctly.
All we could really afford would be the biorecognition and the voice lock. But I know I really want to do the other things too.
All right, and what does the angel on my other shoulder say?
Don't do it. Let's not die.
I have an idea. What if you were to exchange a bounty of worth of a certain amount of money? Perhaps 20,000.
You son of a bitch.
What do you think of that? A trade, after all.
Oh no.
Are you suggesting that we turn in Dio?
You don't know that yet because I haven't told you. But yeah.
Oh right, sorry. Where would we possibly find a bounty worth that much?
There might be someone here or there, and I just wanted to know what you thought.
It's certainly, it's not impossible. We could check local bounty listings and see if there's someone to take down.
What if we had to betray one of our own? How would you like that?
Who were you thinking?
Theoretical conversation. I am not just purely hypothetical.
Okay. That sounds very mean. And,
That's very mean.
Rather not.
Accurate.
I'm glad we are on the same page. It is good to know you are a true and loyal friend, Bean.
That's right.
It's a very good thing to know you are a true and loyal friend. I am glad we are on the same page.
Dio did smack me that one time.
He did. Be enough to that sort of meanness be enough for you to be also mean?
I don't know. Maybe I could just smack him back, and that would probably be enough.
Well, then I think that is probably what we will do.
All right, we will smack Dio the next time we see him.
Sorry,
let's just say that we get this biorecognition chip and this voice lock for now, and perhaps if we find another form of income, we can come, or dubious nature, we can come back for the rest. I would really like the auto-targeter. The auto-targeter sounds very nice.
Game Master, as a bounty hunter, yes. I do actually have like a bounty hunting license.
That's true, you do.
Do I have access on like a little data pad? Can I pull up the local bounty postings?
Yeah. Local bounty.
Oh no.
You can find some bounty nearby that we can get.
Yeah, is there a good bounty nearby?
Besides Dio, you mean?
It struck by the idea of bounty hunting. Right, that's a thing I know how to do. You pull up the local bounty listings. You see some. There's Cobzane Quick Draw. A notorious outlaw who's been hiding somewhere on the planet surface here. Jasassa the assassin. There's like some nice some nice bounties here. And as you're scrolling through, you see like you go, oh, Dievan Cree, but wait a minute, and you scroll back and there you see a young picture, several years old of Dievan Cree, wanted, suspected, terrorist, wanted for crimes against the Empire.
You find
alive is 80,000 and dead is 20,000.
Dievan has a younger brother, also named Dievan. And he's a terrorist.
I don't like this game anymore. What's not playing? Oh, Christ.
We don't have to betray you. We can just betray his younger brother.
His younger brother.
If you don't have anything to go further with that, Bean, I will go back over to Zvuma and talk to her more.
Okay.
Are you good?
Nope. Daryl, you have a stroke.
From what it seems.
Treachery's finally got to him.
There we go.
But, this does it every once in a while for some reason. So I'd like to go back over to Vuma and say, I will take your biorecognition chip and voice lock. But also, I'm very interested in this other technology you have. Unfortunately, credits are not plentiful enough at this point, but I have a question for you. My friend here is a very skilled bounty hunter, and has anyone wronged you recently that we might be able to reacquire for you in exchange for one of these devices that we cannot yet afford?
She smiles very devilishly for such like a such a generally warm-looking person, a warm-looking old woman, and she goes, "Well, there are some people. Should you encounter them, you see, there are a group, there are a company, as there are several that go out to the plains to go scavenge. There are several. And one such company, the Mansells, they go out and instead of finding the salvage on their own. They have a reputation for taking others. And I have not heard from one of my most trusted suppliers. And I have a sneaking suspicion the Mancells have something behind it.
Mancells, you said?
The Mancells, yes. The Mancell Salvage Corporation. It basically, she sends relevant information to your data pad. Basically, they're a company that operates probably about 15 different teams that go out and collect salvage, bring them back to the Mancell compound, which is outside of the city, and then they, bring in large shipments of salvage at one time to sell.
Huh.
But they have a bit of a reputation for not finding the salvage themselves.
That's good to know. It's good information to know, even if we were not to be working for you. I thank you for this.
Do you know where their warehouse is?
Yes.
Yeah, and she sends you the coordinates to where their compound is.
Well, that is a very good thing to have. Good. I like you, Vuma. I think you will be a good friend of ours.
Anything.
Is there any chance that we could? We will get back at them well for you. I have a whole group of bounty hunting friends that we may enlist upon this endeavor for you, because those devices you have are very worthwhile to us.
If you can bring Gidono back to me, I would appreciate that. He was a very dear friend, a son of sorts to me.
Oh.
You say, son. Would it be possible for us to impact upon a deal of honor and maybe take one of the devices we cannot yet afford in trade for advanced? We will promise we will bring him back. I give you my word. Souls of Twi'lek.
Go ahead and make me a hard charm check, Darylist. It's gonna be
charm of all things.
So charm.
All right, so that's gonna be. I'm just remembering which. That's presence. Okay, cool. And so that's gonna be. Okay, cool.
So 3 purples.
Yep. Here we go. Wish me luck, guys.
I wish you luck.
Ooh.
Oh.
No such luck.
Damn it, Jim.
She grimaces and says, "Unfortunately, I cannot enter in such a deal." And she pulls out both the auto targeting chip, and the remote chip. Either one of those. And she says, "Should you bring Gidono back to me, I will give you one of these. Your pick."
Well, you can't blame a man for trying. I appreciate your honesty and your forthrightness, Vuma. We will return with your friend, I promise. I promise. This is our way to be honorable. Here's for the biorecognition and voice lock in the meantime.
Yeah, so voice lock I said was 1,100.
Yes.
And for biorecognition, I said that was 2,000, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So you pick up those for 3,100 credits.
Yep. Out of 45. That's okay. I didn't feel like negotiating after having tried to run a drug deal on the other stuff. Yeah, so we will see you soon, Wilma. And let's go, Bean.
Okay.
Perhaps we spend the rest of our time in the marketplace finding yummies that Bean would like to eat.
Yeah,
you seem like very food.
Slurp.
Some bounty.
This planet does have problems with Kinraths. They are spidery things. But barbecued Kinrath eggs, local delicacy, being, you get one of them. Each one is about like 5 feet long. So if you get one of them, that's a solid meal, right there.
Dang.
It's like a big old crab leg. You eat them like you would a big old crab leg.
Yeah, they're like big crab spiders. They're big.
Yeah, and angry, but
yes. If my time in KOTOR had anything to say about that.
Yep, Kinrath eggs, or Kinrath legs. You can find eggs too, for sure. There's lots of local delicacies to be tried.
Lemon butter.
Bean is like holding up their data pad and like comparing it to faces as they pass, looking for bounties.
Not Star Trek.
Nice.
Okay, go ahead and make a vigilance check, Bean. Make a medium vigilance check.
Okay. Just for fun, I'll flip a light side token to upgrade one of those dice.
Okay.
Wait.
And no dice.
Disadvantage.
Just advantage. Nope. Nope, nothing. Womp womp.
I'm not very vigilant.
But yeah, if Daryl and Bean, if you two head back to the ship, you would have no issues, just plugging this thing in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. So you have the biometric scanner to get in, and then you also have the voice lock on the navigation and the controls. So as you plug in the voice lock, you have to enter in the voice lock passcode. And how voice lock works?
One now, or
yeah, it is only keyed to a specific passcode, and you can set up to 3 people to say that passcode.
I'm gonna say how many people can say it.
Okay, well, definitely I'll have one, and I will make that sort of a master key if that's possible, so that it overrides the other 2 if possible.
Go ahead and make a computer's check, an easy computer check.
Thank you. You said easy?
Oh yeah, no, you set a key that will override. Basically, you could both have it completely lock down the system, or override any lock on the system as well.
Dope. And then I'll give one to Diavin because he's a pilot and he needs to be able to flesh. And then the other one to Bean.
Okay, so Dio, Bean, and Darylis have the voice keys to the ship, basically.
Hold on, just for the visual gag of it, I imagine that at some point while they're doing this, just a big land speeder just cruises up, and this happens. It's just... Sup, fuckers?
It's not a land speeder, it's a land crawler, right?
Yeah, it's more of a
Really close. Yeah, I could have had better, but this is all we could get.
It trundles up to the ship would be a better way of...
It's right on it.
Yeah. You can hear it coming from...
That's Bean's impressed voice.
We're all right here now. We're doing it.
And I'll let everybody kind of know that this is the only way that that the system works. It only allows us to have 3, unfortunately. So, of course, myself, and then because I have to fix it sometimes, and I also know how to fly, and Diovin because he knows how to fly, and Bean because he also has some rudimentary piloting ability as well. Be quiet. Don't tell him that.
I know how ships do.
Yes, indeed you do. Yes, indeed you do.
Y'all have got everything ready to head out on an expedition. So
we also have another intriguing option, which is we can go and ransack the man cells and take their loot.
Yes, let's tell them about the man cells, and I think that would be a good place to go, because we might be able to get lots of loot, bring back to give to Kestwin, and then also extra things for ourselves, and the bounties, and the bonus from Vuma. I think it's a good idea. We don't have to go out in the wilderness searching around for things. But we find, yes, essentially, we are a bounty hunter now. And these people are bad. They are taking advantage of everyone else, so let's take advantage of them.
Oh, bad people. That reminds me. And I smack Theo.
Yeah, go ahead. Just a nice backhand across the face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, was that for in the hangar?
That was when you hit me. Back on Raxus, you smacked me at one point.
Admittedly, at the time I was in character. I'm going to put these on so you can't see my eyes, and everything's fine. We're good. Admittedly, I may have deserved that.
Enjoying this greatly.
We're even, right?
We are even. I do have to tell you something, though.
Oh.
And Bean places a hand on his shoulder. It's about your brother. Your younger brother, Dievan.
I don't have one of those.
Oh, but you do. And he's a terrorist.
I think you may be confusing myself with myself.
What?
I am Dievan, and I saw on a news report that I was considered a bit of a...
Did he see that?
I mean, if she survived, I thought that perhaps someone would have reported it in by now. Where did you see this?
I pull up my bounty hunting dossiers.
Oh, bollocks.
The bounty hunting app.
You're worth 80,000 credits.
HUNTR.
Shit. Okay, right. Bad. Okay, how do we fix this? Because I can't go wandering out into the wastelands with my name being on a bounty hunter's board, especially not in a place like this. Does anyone have a mask?
And go by Bic.
Daska's really good with makeup.
How good of plastic surgery could I do on him?
Oh, that's true. We have a doctor.
Excuse me?
We can always alter your appearance.
You want to fuck with all of this?
Throw a blaster on the side already fucked with it a little bit, so yeah, that's a little bit more
personal. Leave that out. I mean,
the medical unit on the ship isn't equipped to do plastic surgery, unfortunately.
It is equipped to disfigure, though.
Does he need?
It is what?
Please, no, please, not any of that. No. Wait! I've got an idea. We can kill 3 birds with 1 stone right here. Okay. Mind going haywire, but if we're about to go and kill a bunch of fools, what if we just take my data pad and my name tag, blast the shit out of whoever it is we kill, I'm sure Miaskar can handle that, and then turn that in as my dead body? That gets me off the Empire's register for now until I need to go back. It gets the bounty off me, gets us some credits if we turn in whoever it was who we do kill. And I may even be willing to part with a tooth for dental records?
I don't think that's a dental record worth work.
We knock out all the teeth but one and just implant a single one of Jayla's teeth.
Yeah. I mean, if we really absolutely disfigure the poor fool, and then give them, my identification tag and put on the Imperial uniform, possibly that could work, and it could be a way to get me off the register and for us to turn in a dead me bounty, while also getting another bounty for killing other people.
Hey, Bean.
Yes.
How well does that work since you are a bounty hunter?
Yes, I am somewhat. I wouldn't call myself sure by any stretch, but I feel like they do like DNA checks or something to like make sure you're not doing things like that. It's a big galaxy. It's easy to find a random member of the species and scar them up beyond recognition.
Bollocks. Okay.
We could scalp you. Give him your hair.
No! Absolutely not. We cannot scalp me. No, please. I would rather not be scalped, if at all possible.
A limb on a burned body. We could take the limb. That would be good.
Yes.
I'm not removing one of my... I need these. These are very useful for flying our damn ships.
You get a brand
Well,
new...
the hands, like he just said, the hands are useful. But what about the leg? Does he use the legs when he flies?
He's not a Skywalker, so he can't lose a hand.
No.
Why?
Cybernetics are getting better all the time.
You have better legs than you had before. Better, stronger, faster.
Your plan is still to tear off one of my legs.
We have the technology. We can't build you.
No,
I guarantee you won't feel it that much. It only hurts stop.
That much.
Let's see. Bean, I want you to go ahead and make me a medium medicine check.
Okay.
Why is Bean doing a medicine check? This is scary.
Okay, a good roll.
I can make a medicine check.
So you do know how, you know how it is like DNA swabs to confirm the identity of someone, especially if they're dead. But if you had a good doctor around who was less than moral, it wouldn't necessarily require removing a limb, but there would definitely be a way to spoof it. It would be tricky, and it would require some preparation, but there would definitely be a way to spoof a bounty using on a DNA test.
Bean is sort of like rubbing their fingers together like, I'm feeling bad about smacking you because I feel like we're going to be uneven again.
What are you planning, Bean? And please tell me it doesn't involve cutting my leg off.
Probably not. That probably won't be necessary.
It's a good start.
It would require a very detailed scan of all of the fingerprints. And probably some bone marrow.
Could be a leg or a marrow. 21.
Bring those fingertips to me.
How badly do you want that 80,000 credits?
It puts us in less danger for being hunted down by other bounty hunters. It gets us a decent amount of credits, and it stops people looking for me because I've turned up dead. As long as you don't maim me beyond recognition or take a limb off, I think I could be convinced to get involved in this, as long as a decent chunk of the credits was put into my wallet afterwards, after we've bought the defenses.
We're just saying the more you're willing to sacrifice, the easier it will be.
How much am I sacrificing for this? Like, Just give it to me straight, Doctor.
How long would it take to regrow a limb from a Bacta tank?
I'm not taking a bloody limb off. That's painful and scary.
I'm not sure that Bacta lets you regrow limbs. I know that Trandoshan can regrow limbs.
This would be very easy if your Scar was the one who was wanted.
Bean, Seika, how much would I have to give up to pull this off?
Fingertips and some bone marrow. And that's just the prints.
Okay.
So your fingers would be tender for a while. And the bone marrow is going to hurt a lot. Oh, wait, with anesthetics. Oh, I can do that. Never mind. It won't hurt as much.
And Bean, you're sure this works as a bounty hunter? You're sure this could work?
It would fool me.
That's actually that's a good thing.
That's a great answer.
Oh. Do we require another dead body or just my prints and some bone marrow?
We will need another dead body to spoof it, yes.
Okay.
Miskar can arrange for that.
Fine. If it gets people hunting me off my back and it gets a bunch of credits, then we can go to where we need to do, kill that first guy, whoever this bounty is on, take back whoever it is we're finding, kill a henchman, and then spoof that. And hopefully by that time it'll give me some time to recover from burning off my fingertips and taking out my bones.
We just have to find someone with a similar age
I don't need the full bone.
racial makeup.
I'm sure there's plenty of
somebody who's
humans
also
around their late
a
20s
human
around here.
Does it have to be a henchman I kill, or can it just be anybody?
Any human around my age of male is probably going to be fine.
If you see someone that looks this size,
Try to make it someone who deserves it.
And if we're very lucky, we'll find some good scrap at their warehouse as well.
Darylis just looks around and goes, I don't think that will be hard, Zaska.
Mm-hmm. And I guess after that we can worry about getting me a mask or at least some glasses and maybe cut my hair, and we'll see how we go.
Well, it's wearing a respirator and a hood.
That could work.
Get that good Mechanicus vibe going.
What about sunglasses and a baseball cap? They work for a captain.
I knew a bounty hunter who just wrapped toilet paper around their head.
We'll worry about that if we get to the point where we can spoof my body. I'm dreading this already.
But we should worry about that before we do that, because then we don't want people coming for you.
Yes, I suppose. Okay, how do we propose getting all this camouflaged?
But Darylis just reaches back into a box and finds a respirator mask and throws it at Diavin.
Okay, right, okay.
And then you
maybe a hood. It takes a coat and just throws it over the top of his head like a hood, even though it's not.
I'm not
your sunglasses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, hold on, hang on. Yeah, glasses, respirator, mask, and hood. There we go.
Perfect disguise.
Space disguise.
And I suppose I'll have to try and do a different accent so I don't give away the whole Coruscant thing. I'll work on that as we go.
Wouldn't the respirator do enough job of that?
I suppose it might
Why
help.
did you work on your
Absolutely not. I am not racist. Right, so we have glasses, hood, respirator. That should be enough to camouflage me. Now I guess let's go and kill some fools that have bounties on their heads, except for not me.
Load up.
We could just have Mirscar scratch over really hard.
I mean, I don't think these are official bounties. They're just jerks and no one likes them.
Oh.
But if they're jerks, we might find real bounties for them.
It's true.
This Game Master. This felt like more of a personal thing. Do I find bounties for the Mancels?
Go ahead. Not looking right now. You know that there's lots of people. This is a good place to just land a ship in the middle of a wilderness and hide out for a while, but also dangerous. So that's why people don't do it. That's why only criminals do it.
Idea.
Yeah. So, but however, you could. It wouldn't be a thing you would be able to find right now. It's not like this person working for the Mancels.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. That's the answer.
He's got his hood.
Right. Let's do this.
Yeah. If we get in trouble with the law, we can just tell them we were after Dia Vincree, because that's what we're going to be spoofing anyway.
Indeed.
And they wouldn't suspect Dia Vincree be with the group that's hunting for him. So.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right. I suppose let's do this.
Alrighty.
All right. Yeah, we load up the crawler and head towards those coordinates.
Yeah. So it's a couple days travel outside of the city. I'm sorry, Daska. Did you have something?
Oh, I was gonna say, it occurs to me that before we go, probably Daska wants to acquire a gun.
Oh.
It's all she has a knife. Is that easy to do?
You could find yourself like a regular blaster pistol for about 1,000 credits.
Do I have an extra I can toss
Like an amount of money that I might,
The Triumphator had some equipment for us. Does it have a spare blaster on it?
Yeah,
Can I just grab one?
Yeah, that's definitely something I would let y'all flip over.
No,
yeah, I think rummaging through some trunks, you could find yourself a light blaster pistol for free.
Sweet.
So, with the appropriate,
just for the purposes of this adventure.
Yeah. It's got a nice little scrawl on it that says it's from Johnny Two Guns is who it used to belong to.
Johnny Two Guns.
Yeah.
We only took one with him, so yes, why?
Exactly.
The other one.
Johnny has been separated from one of his pistols.
I call him Johnny Pistol.
Yeah, Johnny One Gun. So you guys head on out. You guys head on out into the wilderness surrounding Anchor Fall. Travel for a couple days, and you come across the Marcel compound. Yeah, and there. You see it's sitting in it's sitting on the edge of a cliff, so there's really only one way to come from it, but you do see that the tree line goes right up to kind of the outer security perimeter fence. There's just kind of looking at it, there's the perimeter, there's the like a wall, an actual compound wall, and then there's all the buildings inside of it. So that's what y'all are looking at. You do see that there's a couple guards, patrolling the walls.
We should park the truck. What's it called? Umar? What's it called?
I called it a space Ural because it's basically just a big truck.
Just a personnel carrier, really.
Just a big truck.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Everybody's fine with me just calling it a truck? Good. Okay. We should park the truck away from here somewhat and camouflage it and approach on foot.
Aye. I'll steer it up somewhere a bit, a couple of Let's give it about maybe a mile away from the compound, so it's a fair distance off. Maybe pilot it down into a small kind of ditch or ravine or something, so that it's kind of
We have to walk
below ground, out of sight, unless someone's looking for it.
Yeah, and as y'all sneak up, go ahead, everyone, give me a stealth check.
Oh, goody,
dang.
goody.
I would say.
Stealth check.
So there's that.
Totally
Maybe
average.
Diovan stays with the truck and then waits for us on comms so that once we're actually inside,
Oh, that
he
was
can
wrong.
approach closer.
Got nothing.
Yeah, it's an easy stealth check with a boost.
Oh, I haven't
Everyone
taken
gets a
that
boost as well.
Yeah, nothing in there. Then.
Oh, with a boost as well. I'll add that to it.
Yeah, with
Already got one
boost.
success. So 2 successes.
For those of us with nothing in stealth, what do we do?
Just roll as many points, as many greens as you have points in agility.
That's plenty for me.
You got 1.
Dom, did you hear what I said about the idea of you maybe staying in the truck until we get inside and then driving the truck closer?
We could. I mean, are we going to want to just kill one person and make a runaway, or are we taking out
No,
everyone
we're trying
inside?
to get that guy too.
Well, we're
we
stealing all the
need
stuff,
to-
so
Yeah, we need to beat him up, steal the stuff, and rescue some guy named like Jerobo or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerobo.
I mean, that plan works if we're
Giordano.
killing a couple of people and running. But if we're planning to take them all out, I'd rather be there with a blaster in hand to take some pot shots. I'm
I
not a
would just
bad
rather
shot.
the truck be close by in case we need to like load it up.
Way.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, you're not wrong.
How
We can
fast
always
of
It was
a
just a
getaway do you
thought.
think
I
we'll
wanted
need?
to put it out to the party. That's all.
No, it's a smart move. How fast of a getaway do you think we'll need if this goes... Well, do you think this will go south, or do you think we have the manpower to take them all down? I'm not exactly one for one-on-one fighting very often.
It doesn't seem like our truck is a quick getaway in any case.
Right.
No, it's front. It's
Yeah,
certainly front.
my thought was simply that we take out the guards on the inside, on the outside, without drawing attention by having a truck come close, and then take them out and then move in, and then signal you so that you could drive up closer, and that way you're not so far away, a mile. So you're not so far away when we need to start loading up stuff.
Okay.
Also, so you can get involved in the combat
Ooh,
that will
If I
surely
was to
ensue
drive-
afterwards.
if I drive the truck up
You
to
have
the
to go
front
first
gate,
because I have weapons. I don't have any blasters. I just have
Yeah.
a vibro sword and some grenades, so I probably shouldn't use grenades. We're trying to be stealthy.
we're going in guns blazing once we start. If I drive the truck up to the gate and possibly Mearscar, if you hop in the back, they'll come and obviously want to search the truck as something is approaching. They'll want to know what the hell I'm doing there. At which point, you can jump out and cut someone's head off, and then everyone else can come from the tree line and start pinning them down from 2 sides.
Fair, yeah, good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll cover we'll come at them from the tree line, and you guys come at them from the road, catch them off guard that way. Yeah, sure.
Mearscar, that will
What
put
are
us
trees?
directly in the line of fire if you're prepared for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how big my scales are. But,
Let's give it an old college try, shall we?
And break.
And break!
Then I guess maybe that stealth check was a little preemptive. All right, so we're gonna do.
Well, no, we're still stealthing because we're stealthing up
Yeah.
to the tree line, and then the truck is coming up, and we'll occupy the guards, and we'll hide in the trees, and then engage. If when it happens, we'll just start. We'll just take them out. That's the idea, right?
Yeah,
So say like 2 one side, 2 the other side, and the truck down the middle.
sure. So Dio, you pull up the truck to the front, and there's a there's a bit of a there's a voice box there, and as you get up, pull up to the first gate, because there's the fence gate and then there's the actual gate to the compound. It says the box says, "You're on Marcel territory. State your business."
We've come with some valuable cargo you could be looking for. I'd suggest you come and check it out. It's in the back.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Sure, why not? These worked really well last game.
Yeah. And I'll just oppose that.
Sure. I still haven't used a boost or anything like that, so I will use my light side token to boost that if that's alright. Oh, well, upgrade one of them, at least. Just in case. Ooh!
Oh, okay.
I should have been a talker. Dio's rolling really well.
The man says, well, we usually don't buy from random scavs, but pickings have been a little slim this month. Sure. Pull up to the gate, and the fence gate opens.
Alright.
Oh boy.
On the way in. Very slowly move it up so the others have time to get in position.
And as you pull up to the first gate, or as you pull up to the actual gates, this is made out of plasteel and looks like it could take a blow or two before caving in. It opens and 5 not necessarily heavily armed, but like some brutish looking people. 2 humans, an Aqualish, a Weequay, and a Twi'lek all walk out.
What a racially diverse cast of characters.
And they start oh, what's so what have you got for us then?
Found some flight recorders, some codes, a couple of landing bits of gear, as well as some old engines that could be fixed up. I put my hands on the dash, under the dash just is slipped my blaster, and just go,
sure,
go ahead and have a check see, and if they start to walk around, I will slide my hand from the dash onto the horn, ready to give the signal.
Okay. As you all, they take a few steps around. They open up the back of the truck, and they find Beerscar standing there, vibroblade ready. I will let you go ahead and make your surprise attack on someone, Beerscar.
Go on, fucking Beerscar, take him down.
So that's going to be an easy melee check. So for you, Beerscar, I think that's going to be for melee. Yeah. So that's 3 yellows, 1 green, and 1 purple.
You got this. You got this. The plan will go so well.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. So let's see. So you already deal +4. Okay, so that's 7 wounds that you deal with your swing.
Not bad.
Oh, wait, never mind. No, excuse me. It's +4. Sorry. So that's 8. That's 11 wounds you deal with your swing. Excuse me.
Yes.
Fucking missed. Oh, hell yeah.
And this guy's kind of wearing like a light helmet. Yeah. This guy's wearing kind of like a light helmet with a leather sort of collar that kind of comes down to protect the neck, and you cleave right through it. You hit this dude about right here, and you go down into his ribcage and come out just under his pectoral muscle. Like, not even just behead, but you take off his head plus like his left arm. And in one
shoulder,
big
that's
swing.
why.
Yeah, you put your shoulder into that swing. And down he goes. And with that signal, it's where we're going to wrap up episode 3.
Son of a bitch. Beerscar, fucking on it, my man.
Damn.
Not pretty evil.
The big
Damn
roll. Taking a man down. Okay. So let's go around and tell the good people of the internet where we can find you if they want to check in later. So let's start with you, Dom. Who are you and where can we find you?
That was so fucking cool. Okay, so yes, you can find me, Guy Dom, on Twitter for voiceovers and general horseplay. Cheers, that's all. I'm just having a really good time. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. And give me an axe. Who are you and where can we find you?
I'm Jesse. Give me an axe with an underscore in between every word. Spell that axe with an E. You'll find me on Twitter talking about all kinds of things, D&D and RPG related. The Expanse, because I love it, if you can't tell. And then also on Twitch, I do a little bit on my own channel, but I'm also on Band of Nerds, where we play D&D, generally about an hour and a half after we get done with this game every week. So look for me there.
Drake, who are you? Where can we find more of you?
I'm Drake Finney _ because the original Drake Finney got banned from Twitter, so I still have to find him and smack him around. And you can find me on Encounter Roleplay all weekend long. I play in No Space Left to Fly, but I'm usually working the back end of all the shows Saturday and Sunday. You can find me on Havas Online TV or my own Twitch channel, where I'm doing a mixture of either high school sports or graduations or any event I can get a camera to. And during this summer, since I'm also a teacher and now it's summertime for me, I get to screw around and have more fun. So who knows what I'll be throwing up on my channel.
Mr. Ripper, who are you and where can we find more of you?
I'm Gary Ripper. I make blades. You can find me on ripperblades.net or Ripper Blades Facebook, Gary Ripper Facebook, Ripper Blades, and the Saber community. We do live videos there. We make blades like this. And that's the main thing I do. Swords, lightsabers, and blades and stuff.
And they're cool
and
as
chopping
fuck.
up henchmen.
Blades and stuff. That's all he does.
Yeah, any and every kind that's out there, like from anything that's out there. I mean, He-Man to Thundercats, anything.
He's also making one for Extra Life, which we do every year for Arizona. We raffle one off.
Yeah.
For the last person won it for $5. So.
Yeah. And they usually range anywhere between $250 to $300 worth, so you get a very good prize.
And the kids get the money.
Yeah, the whole money.
That's dope.
Animus, who are you and where can we find you?
I am, once again, I'm Eris or Animus Panthera, or sometimes I'm Animus.Panthera, but I use that username pretty much everywhere. I'm actually, sorry, I'm actually a zoologist. Yes, I'm dying slightly. It's okay. I'm actually a zoologist. I'm really into tabletop RPGs, cosplay, and I make jewelry. So come chat about all that stuff.
And Mr. Dan, who are you and where can we find more of you?
That's me. I'm Dan Streams Games on Twitch, or just Dan Streams on Twitter, where I tweet about RPGs, Star Wars, and just random-ish that goes on in my life. And you can find me on castingcall.club under Dan Streams for most voice acting needs. So look for me there.
Alrighty, and I am your game master, LazyBones, and you can find me at LazyBones TV on Twitch, where I am streaming Mordhau occasionally and Total War 3 Kingdoms, which just came out, which is a lot of fun. It is wushu as fuck, so if you like Dynasty Warriors and strategy games, come check that out. Hang out, it's a good time. You can find me here Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can also find me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Damn It Barry's Twitch channel, where we are playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So
nice.
That's a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and hope to see you next week. Please stick around for Apocalypse Win, which features some good friends of mine. So thank you all for tuning in. See you next week.